Have you noticed how our homes seem to collect more and more belongings as the years go by? Treasured mementos, family heirlooms, gifts from loved ones, and all those just-in-case items that somehow never find their moment to shine. I'm here today to share something that might change your relationship with your home forever. After working with dozens of professional organizers who specialize in helping folks over 70 reclaim their living spaces, I've gathered their 10 most effective decluttering secrets methods that respect your memories while creating the peaceful, manageable home you deserve. These aren't just any organizing tips. They're specifically designed for those of us who have decades of meaningful possessions and perhaps less energy than we once had for big organizing projects. I encourage you to watch this video all the way through, as secret number 8 is particularly powerful and has brought tears of relief to many who've tried it. Before we dive in, if you find this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more practical advice tailored to our generation. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest decluttering challenge? Or perhaps you have a tip of your own to share. The first secret that professional organizers want you to know is something that might feel counterintuitive at first. Start small. I know you've probably heard this before, but there's a reason it's the cornerstone of every organizing expert's philosophy, especially when working with those of us in our 70s, 80s, and beyond. Instead of tackling an entire room, which can quickly become overwhelming, begin with just one drawer or one shelf. Professional organizer Margaret Wilson, who specializes in helping seniors, tells her clients, 5 minutes of focused decluttering is better than 5 hours of feeling overwhelmed and doing nothing. Think about that kitchen junk drawer we all have. You know the one. Set a timer for just 15 minutes and sort through only that drawer. When the timer goes off, you're done for the day if you want to be. This approach builds confidence and momentum without exhausting you physically or emotionally. It's about making the process manageable, not miserable. The second secret might surprise you. It's about timing. Professional organizers have discovered that most of us have certain times of day when our energy and decision-making abilities are at their best. For many in our age group, that's often in the morning hours. Carol Jenkins, who has helped hundreds of seniors organize their homes, says, "I've noticed my clients over 70 have much more clarity and stamina for decluttering decisions before noon." Pay attention to when you feel most clear-headed and schedule your decluttering sessions during those golden hours. Even just 20 minutes of organizing during your peak mental time can accomplish more than hours of pushing through when you're tired. Now, here's the third secret that makes all the difference. Create a memory box for each loved one in your life. This is especially powerful for those of us who struggle to part with items that represent connections to family members. Instead of keeping every card, program, or trinket associated with each child or grandchild scattered throughout your home, designate one beautiful box or container per person. When you find something you're keeping purely for sentimental reasons, ask yourself if it belongs in someone's memory box. The beauty of this system is that it gives you permission to keep what truly matters while creating boundaries. As one client told her organizer, "Once I filled my daughter's memory box, I felt free to let go of the less meaningful items because I knew I'd preserved the best memories." This approach honors your emotional attachments while preventing them from overtaking your living space. The fourth decluttering secret is something I wish I'd learned decades ago. It's called the outbox method. This technique acknowledges something important. Immediate decisions can be stressful, especially when emotions are attached to our belongings. Here's how it works. Place a box or bag in each room you're working on. As you come across items you're unsure about, place them in the outbox. Don't force yourself to make an immediate keep or discard decision. After a week or two, revisit the contents with fresh eyes. Marjorie Hampton, who's been organizing seniors' homes for over 15 years, says, "The outbox creates emotional distance. What seemed impossible to part with often becomes obviously unnecessary after a little time has passed. This method is particularly helpful for those of us who find ourselves saying, "But what if I need it someday?" By putting the item in outbox limbo, you're giving yourself permission to consider life without it before making a final decision. The fifth secret focuses on photographs, often the most emotionally charged items in our homes. Professional organizers who work with seniors have developed a specific approach. Rather than keeping thousands of loose photos in shoeboxes or albums that are rarely viewed, select the most meaningful ones for digitization. Then, create a digital photo frame that cycles through these cherished memories where you can see them every day. Martha Stevens, who specializes in photo organization for seniors, shares, "My clients find more joy in 20 meaningful photos displayed in rotation than in thousands hidden away in boxes. For those pictures you choose to keep as physical copies, archival quality photo boxes take up far less space than multiple albums and protect your memories better than those old magnetic page albums many of us used decades ago." The key is being highly selective, keeping only those photos that truly bring you joy when you look at them. As we move through this decluttering journey together, remember that organizing isn't about creating a stark, minimal home. It's about making space for the life you want to live now. These first 5 secrets are already setting you on the path to a home that serves your current needs, rather than storing your past. Let's continue with more professional insights that will transform how you think about your belongings. The 6th decluttering secret professional organizers share might seem simple, but it's truly transformative. Create stations for daily activities. As we age, convenience becomes increasingly important. Having to search for reading glasses, medications, or hobby supplies can turn simple pleasures into frustrating treasure hunts. Barbara Nielsen, who has organized homes for seniors for over 2 decades, explains, "When everything has a dedicated station, daily routines become effortless." For example, create a reading station with your favorite chair, a good lamp, your glasses, a few current books, and perhaps a small notepad. A medication station might include your prescriptions, vitamins, a water glass, and any tracking system you use. The beauty of stations is they acknowledge your real life and actual habits, rather than forcing you to adapt to some idealized organizing system. They also make it immediately obvious when something is out of place. Your glasses belong at your reading station, not randomly left throughout the house. Now, the 7th secret is something I've personally found life-changing: the container method. This approach flips traditional decluttering on its head. Instead of deciding what to get rid of, you decide how much space you want to dedicate to a particular category. Professional organizer Thomas Riley explains it this way: "If you decide your holiday decorations should fit in 2 specific bins, no more than when those bins are full, something has to go before anything new comes in." This method works brilliantly for collections that tend to grow unchecked, like kitchenware, craft supplies, or books. Find appropriate, manageable containers for these categories, and once they're full, maintain a strict one-in, one-out policy. This creates natural boundaries around your belongings, while still honoring your right to keep what matters. One client in her mid-80s told me, "Once I limited my craft supplies to a single cabinet, I actually started completing more projects because I could see and access everything I had." The 8th secret, and this is the one I mentioned earlier that has moved many to tears, is what professionals call the legacy conversation. This approach acknowledges something many of us struggle with. We keep things because we believe our children or grandchildren will want them someday. But here's the difficult truth that professional organizers help families navigate. Often they won't. Suzanne Matthews, who facilitates family organizing sessions, suggests having direct conversations with family members about the items you're keeping for them. Ask them specifically about the china set, the collection of figurines, or your grandfather's tools, she advises. You might be surprised by which items truly hold meaning for them and which don't. These conversations can be difficult, but ultimately freeing. One gentleman I worked with discovered his son had no interest in his extensive record collection, but deeply wanted his father's handwritten recipe book, something he had considered insignificant. The emotional release that comes from these honest conversations is profound. You're no longer burdened with being the keeper of objects nobody actually wants. And for those treasured items that your loved ones do want, you can have the joy of passing them along now, perhaps with the stories that make them special, rather than leaving them to be sorted after you're gone. The 9th decluttering secret focuses on technology and paperwork, often major sources of clutter for our generation. Professional organizers who work with seniors recommend creating a simplified paper management system that requires minimal maintenance. Janet Wilson, who specializes in helping seniors go digital, suggests a 3-folder approach: action required, to file, and to shred. Everything else can be digitized or discarded. For important documents like wills, insurance policies, and medical records, a single accordion file with clear labels can replace multiple filing cabinets. Many of my clients have found freedom in scanning important documents and storing them digitally, with family members having access to these files. One woman told me, "I eliminated 4 file cabinets by scanning the truly important papers and realizing most of what I was keeping just in case was available online anyway." As for technology itself, resist the urge to keep outdated devices, mysterious cords, and instruction manuals for products you no longer own. Technology changes so rapidly that these items are rarely useful to anyone. If you're keeping old photos on obsolete media like floppy disks or VHS tapes, professional organizers recommend investing in a service that will convert these to modern digital formats before the technology to read them disappears completely. These decluttering secrets are designed to honor your life experience while creating space for your current needs and desires. The professionals I've worked with emphasize that organizing isn't about deprivation, it's about freedom. Freedom to find what you need when you need it. Freedom from maintaining possessions that no longer serve you. And freedom to enjoy the space you've created for this chapter of your life. The 10th decluttering secret might be the most profound of all. Professional organizers call it the why beneath the what. This approach asks you to examine the deeper reasons behind your attachment to certain possessions. Dorothy Reynolds, who has helped hundreds of seniors declutter, explains, "When someone can't let go of 30 vases they never use, there's usually an emotional need being met by those objects that has nothing to do with the vases themselves. Perhaps you keep every gift you've ever received because discarding them feels like rejecting the giver's love. Maybe you hold on to craft supplies for projects you'll realistically never complete because they represent dreams and aspirations. Or you might maintain a fully stocked workshop even though your arthritis prevents you from using the tools because that workshop represents your identity as a capable provider." Understanding these deeper attachments doesn't mean you must discard everything, quite the opposite. It allows you to honor those emotional needs more directly and intentionally. One gentleman I worked with realized he was keeping his late wife's extensive cookbook collection not because he used the recipes, but because the handwritten notes in the margins were precious connections to her. We selected the 5 most meaningful books to keep prominently displayed, photographed all her handwritten notes from the others, and created a beautiful keepsake book that took up a fraction of the space while better preserving those irreplaceable memories. The 11th secret is what professional organizers call the visitor perspective. Our homes become so familiar that we stop seeing them objectively. Karen Mitchell, who specializes in helping seniors prepare their homes for aging in place, suggests this exercise. Walk through your front door and pretend you're visiting your home for the first time. What do you notice? What feels welcoming? What feels cluttered or unsafe? This shift in perspective often reveals problem areas we've become blind to. The stack of magazines that's been growing for years, the hallway narrowed by decorative tables making walker or wheelchair navigation difficult, or the excessive furniture creating obstacle courses rather than comfortable pathways. One client told me she hadn't realized how many tripping hazards existed in her home until she tried this exercise. I suddenly saw all the scatter rugs, footstools and extension cords that had become invisible to me but posed real dangers. The 12th decluttering secret is deeply practical. Establish clear homes for everyday items based on frequency of use. Items you use daily should be stored at comfortable reaching height. No bending, no stretching, no step stools required. Things used weekly can go slightly higher or lower, while seasonal or rarely used items can be stored in less accessible spaces. Edward Morris, who adapts homes for seniors with mobility challenges, notes, "Many of my clients have kitchen cabinets filled with appliances they can no longer safely reach, while their countertops are cluttered with items they use daily but have nowhere to store accessibly." Reorganizing based on frequency of use often creates immediate improvement in daily living. One woman shared, "Simply moving my coffee supplies from an upper cabinet to a drawer beneath the coffee maker saved me from precarious reaching every morning. Such a small change, but it improved my daily routine immensely." The 13th secret is something professional organizers call the permission principle. Many of us grew up in times of scarcity, with parents who lived through the Depression or wartime rationing. We learned powerful lessons about waste and reuse. While these values are admirable, they can sometimes keep us trapped under mountains of items we're saving just in case, or because discarding them feels wasteful. Rebecca Johnson, who specializes in helping Depression-era clients declutter, suggests creating specific permission statements for yourself. It's okay to let go of something I haven't used in 5 years. It's okay to donate something that someone else might use more than I do. It's okay to discard something broken, even if parts of it still work. These personal mantras acknowledge your values while giving yourself permission to make decisions that serve your current life. These decluttering strategies aren't about creating a minimalist home that doesn't reflect your life journey. They're about curating a space that honors your past while supporting your present needs and desires. As we age, our relationship with our belongings evolves. The wisdom of professional organizers simply helps us navigate that evolution with intention and grace. The 14th decluttering secret professional organizers share is what they call the heritage approach. Many of us worry that discarding certain possessions means losing family history or important memories. Sandra Thompson, who specializes in helping seniors downsize, suggests creating a family heritage inventory. Walk through your home with a notepad and identify the objects that truly tell your family's story, the ones with genuine historical or emotional significance, and separate these from items that are simply old. This approach helps distinguish between true heritage pieces and items you've kept out of habit. For instance, your grandmother's handwritten recipe book that's been used for generations carries genuine heritage value, while the chipped serving platter you haven't used in decades might not, despite its age. One client told me, "After identifying my true heritage pieces, I realized they only filled about one cabinet. Everything else was just stuff I'd been moving from house to house for decades." The 15th secret is something I've found particularly helpful with my own clients. Use technology as an ally, not an enemy. James Wilson, who helps seniors organize their digital and physical spaces, says, "Many of my clients over 70 assume technology just complicates their lives, but simple digital tools can actually reduce physical clutter dramatically. Consider taking photos of children's artwork or bulky mementos before letting the originals go. Create a digital family cookbook, rather than keeping every cookbook you've collected over decades. Even those who aren't comfortable with computers can benefit from simple applications. One of my clients had her grandson help her scan and organize family photos, reducing 12 photo albums to a single digital frame that cycles through precious memories. "I see more of my photos now than I ever did when they were hidden in albums," she told me, "and my children don't have to worry about what to do with all those albums someday." The 16th decluttering secret focuses on clothing, often one of the largest categories of excess in our homes. Professional organizers recommend what they call the seasonal sweep. Rather than attempting to organize your entire wardrobe at once, focus on the current season. As summer transitions to fall, for example, evaluate each summer garment as you put it away. Professional organizer Elizabeth Carter explains, "If you didn't wear it this summer, you likely won't wear it next summer either." This approach feels less overwhelming than tackling everything at once and creates natural decision points throughout the year. One gentleman I worked with realized he had 17 short-sleeved button-up shirts, but had only worn 4 of them all summer. When he acknowledged this pattern, letting go of the excess became much easier. The 17th secret addresses something many organizers notice in homes of people our age: duplicate items. Over decades of living, we often accumulate multiples of the same thing: 3 can openers, 5 flashlights, dozens of pens. Margaret Wilson suggests creating duplicate zones in your home, where you temporarily gather multiples of the same item from throughout the house. When my clients see that they have 12 scissors or 7 hammers all in one place, the excess becomes obvious, she explains. Select the best 1 or 2 of each item and let the rest go. One woman I worked with found she had accumulated 23 vases over the years, most of which were stored in hard-to-reach cabinets. She selected her 3 favorites, which was plenty for her current lifestyle, and donated the rest to a local floral shop. The 18th secret, and this one has transformed many of my clients' relationships with their possessions, is the concept of curated abundance. Thomas Riley explains it beautifully. "The goal isn't to live with nothing. It's to live surrounded only by things that bring genuine joy or serve a meaningful purpose. Rather than focusing on what to discard, focus on curating what deserves to stay in your life." This mindset shift turns decluttering from a process of loss into one of intentional choice. Your home becomes a gallery of your most meaningful possessions, rather than a storage facility for everything you've ever owned. One woman described this shift as, "Finally giving myself permission to live in a home that reflects who I am now, not everything I've ever been." As we begin to wrap up these professional decluttering secrets, remember that this process isn't about creating some minimal, sparse environment that doesn't reflect your rich life experiences. It's about thoughtfully curating a home that supports you now, one that celebrates your past without being burdened by it. These organizing principles acknowledge something important, that at this stage of life, our relationship with our possessions can and should evolve to better serve our current needs and desires. We've covered so many professional organizing secrets today, and I hope they've inspired you to see your home and possessions in a new light. Remember, the goal of decluttering isn't to strip away your treasured memories or create a sterile environment. It's to curate a living space that truly serves and supports you in this chapter of your life. The professional organizers I've worked with over the years all share one common philosophy: our relationship with our belongings should evolve as we do. What served us beautifully in our 40s and 50s may not be what brings us joy and comfort now. By thoughtfully applying these decluttering secrets, you're not just creating physical space, you're creating mental and emotional space to fully enjoy your present life. I'd love to know which of these decluttering secrets resonated most with you. Was it the legacy conversation, the curated abundance approach, or perhaps the visitor perspective? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in these professional organizing insights, please hit that like button and subscribe for more practical advice tailored to our generation. And remember, decluttering isn't about what you're giving up, It's about what you're making room for. Until next time, here's to living surrounded by only what you truly love and need.